Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Wine Investigators. Having explored Pinot Noir, Merlot, Viognier, and Riesling as well, we are moving on to another classic white grape, Chenin Blanc. Chenin Blanc is a grape that's been grown in the Loire Valley of France since at least the ninth century. There are references to Pinot de Loire in the works of Rabelais, which is kind of a feather in Chenin Blanc's cap. The thing I find very interesting about the Loire Valley is, for an old world wine region, the regional diversity as you go east from the Atlantic, encompasses, at least three, classic major grapes, four actually. You start with Melon de Bourgogne in Muscadet. As you move into Anjou-Saumur, you're going to find a preponderance of Chenin Blanc, as well as Cabernet Franc produced in that area as well. Heavy Cabernet Franc planting in Chinon, Bourgogne, and St. Nicholas de Bourgogne. And then as you move even further, you're going to come into Vouvray, which is again Chenin Blanc dominated. And finally, the Sauvignon Blancs produced in Sancerre and Puy-Fumé. So, huge amount of diversity for a relatively small area, kind of going in this direction. Chenin Blanc is an early ripener and a late bloomer, so to speak. The real sort of essence of what makes it a classic grape is its level of acidity. It can be on the palate perceived as moderate in a well-made wine, but it's specifically that kind of acidity that makes it ideal for sparklers, the Cremant de Loire. Sparkling wine is best made from high acid wine, but it can range in expressions from a very dry style, a sec style, which is the style we'll be trying tonight. But especially in Vouvray, you're going to go sec, demi-sec, and then all the way up to Molieu, which would be your very sweet wine that's been affected by botrytis, and that is a fungus that draws out the moisture from the grape, therefore intensifying the sugars. That's something that you see, classically, with the great French dessert wines. Your sauternes, same process. In this case, you're dealing with a very nice high acid grape. So much like Riesling, the balance between sweetness and acidity in the grape itself really lends it to an entire range of wines, from very dry to sweet but very balanced. The best examples of the sweeter styles are the Bonnezeau and also the Quart de Chaume, and those are both, infected by noble rot. So Chenin Blanc is still, grown in the Loire Valley, as it has been for, a millennium. But it's grown in South Africa and Australia, where it's known as Steen. Not always the best in quality, but of course there are always exemplary producers in any New World country who really respect the grapes, and you get great wine from them. Also, California, Santa Ynez Valley, you will find Chenin Blanc, as well as the Willamette Valley. My first introduction to really great Chenin Blanc was from the producer Nicolas Joly, who is the owner of one of only three single estate-owned monopoles in France. There is Coulet de Seron, there is Chateau Grillet, of course, which we remember from our Viognier lessons, and Romney Conti, which is owned by the DRC. So kind of a unique thing in itself, and he was one of the earliest and most vocal proponents of biodynamic winemaking, which if you've never read up about is really, really interesting. It associates the growing season with the moon cycles, and there's all sorts of, things to put in the earth, cow's horns, and just very, very, very interesting. In his case, produces just beautifully dry mineral type wines, as opposed to, Vouvray, which is grown in limestone, which is, often, even in the drier styles, a little bit more tropical. So, the wine we're going to try tonight is Les Plantagenets Saumur Chenin Blanc from Cave de Saumur. This is a wine that I have put on lists by the glass before because its acid profile is super, super food friendly, much like a Sauvignon Blanc. So we give this a little sniff. And you're getting some really nice bright notes, lemon peel, freshly juiced lemon, and just a little bit of underlying, I want to say, tropicality. Mm. Sampling the wine, you're getting, that great lemony bracing acidity, but you're also getting some really nice stone fruit notes. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but stone fruit just means a fruit with a pit, like a peach or an apricot. So you've got that, you've got sort of those textbook honeycomb notes, and also some real, like, nice limestone, whetstone notes, and also even a little bit of wool. And there's also some herbal notes, a certain saginess. So, that is Chenin Blanc, super adaptable grape that can be made in any number of styles. And this has been The Wine Investigators. Thank you so much. Good night.